Noted though is that the runes are not grinded, so just bear that in mind. Support monsters are really good for the opening ranks of RTA. So if you're new to the game, haven't done a lot of summoning, and you don't have a lot to work with, but you're anxious to get into PvP, you should take a look at some of these monsters because they can help you out. So with that in mind, I'm going to be evaluating them based on lower ranks of RTA. Cool? Cool. There are 12 support monsters to talk about. Before we get into the rankings, let's talk about the stats. Not the stats. I need to come up with a different name for this. Not like their stats, but like the stats. You'll see what I'm talking about. Amongst the 12, there are 6 strip options, 3 speed leads, 2 counter picks, 5 units built on damage, 2 healers, and 4 crowd control / follow-up units. Some of these you could argue that there are more in each category, but for the purposes of today's video, this is what I'm calling them. Let's rank them. Sitting at number 12, it's Belenus, the Fire Druid. Sometimes a set of blade runes can be a cry for help, and this is one of those instances. And 42 of his additional 56 speed is coming from a single rune, by the way. He's very slow. It's going to be very fortunate if he takes a turn, but he can be good follow-up if you happen to control the enemy's attack bar a little bit, push him back so that way there's room for him to breathe. But if not, well, shoot, dude. That attack bar is going to be moving like molasses. Next on the list, it's Mor, who's runed on Despair Blade, Speed, Crit Damage, Attack, which is an absolutely psychotic build for Mor. The low speed is going to keep him from reaching higher levels on this list. He's definitely still usable, and he also offers a 24% speed lead, so I can only hate on him so much. He also has increased accuracy on skill 1 in the artifacts. That's the wrong skill.
I mean, you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
But he does have increased damage on fire, increased crit damage, and just a smidge of additional damage in the artifacts. So, again, usable, but he's number 11. Number 10, Chiwu, runed on Despair and Focus, which leads to a much higher accuracy of 84%. Usable, a little on the slow side, but I can only complain so much considering we have 2 different 24 speed leads on the table here. Number 9, Miang the Water Sky Dancer. I absolutely love that they put her on crit damage for this build because thanks to a recent balance change, her skill 2 now auto crits. So that means that she can strip and attack bar boost for your team. Something that you're going to want to be aware of though is that like some of the other strippers we've covered so far, she's on the slower side. So this tells me that you may want to bring some strip options that you've summoned on the side if you plan on using support monsters. Number 8 is Bulwark, who's built on Speed, HP on Shield Will Revenge. This is actually a really nice build, but he also has reduced incoming damage in the artifact, so he's going to linger for a little while. But since very few of the support monsters available even apply buffs, you're going to have to bring Bulwark with something of your own creation. So if you fused a Riley, he might be a good pairing for that. But he's also a great counter pick if you see a Riley on the other side. Entirely usable. I love the revenge option. Number 7 is Ren, the Fire Shadowcaster. And he is actually really well runed. The only thing that's keeping him from reaching higher numbers on the list is that he's too dang fast. He's faster than every stripper available in the supports. So he's great to punish people who aren't on will. So if you see monsters that aren't traditionally runed on that, then you can bring him. Otherwise though, you're gonna have to find some other way to facilitate that very, very long third skill of his. Number 6, Carbine. It's Douglas with a gun. Bring him to punish heavy water comps and you'll do just fine. But if you're depending on him to take a turn outside of getting glanced on, then it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride. It also gets a little sus when you see that he's got a 78% crit rate, but hey, you know what? Again, water comps. Punish the water comps. Number 5, Charlotte. Again, she's faster than most of the strippers. Charlotte is one of those monsters that gets a little bit better every time I read her skills. So oftentimes if you bring her with an AoE strip option that reduces attack bar, like Chiwu, for instance, or more, or censor that, Michael. That's a spoiler. Then that means you can get the opportunity to use her big third skill to reduce attack bar and boost your own. She's great. If you haven't seen it yet, we also have a Monster Families Ranked episode on the Occult Girls. That's the end of that thought. Let's move on. Next, it's Amduat. He's a little on the slow side, especially for a monster that has strip on his passive, but he has turn cycling built in on his passive, so if you're gonna rune a monster to be slower, it should be someone that has natural attack bar gain. He's also going to act as a constant thorn in the side of your opponent because he's constantly removing buffs, pushing attack bar back, and thus netting your team more turns. So happy to see him built pretty well here. Okay, top 3, Sonya, the Wind Battle Angel. Actually suspiciously good for a support monster. You can get some really clutch little snipes right out the gate with her. She's got 95 crit rate straight out of the box, and she's got artifacts that increase the crit damage she does on her own turn. So honestly, surprisingly well runed, thus putting her at number 3. She's also decently fast for the lower ranks of RTA, which means that she'll be sticking around longer than your average damage dealer. Number 2, Diana the Wind Unicorn. She has additionals in the artifacts. Thank God. She also has increased accuracy on skill 2, so she'll actually be more likely to strip. She is built on speed HP, so she's not going to be doing a ton of damage in the early game, but as the game goes on longer, that...
Well, if it isn't Chatty McChatterson. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come To Us Evan, and I'm doing some account reviews today. Live tips and progression help. We're in chat channel 10 because Summoner's War is about to be 10 years old. We're in the 10th year of the game right now. Avery says, "Why are you home?" What do you mean, why am I home? why are you wherever you are? Let's say hi to folks in the chat. Once in love, Douglas with a gun. What's going on, Tyler? Good to see you, dude. Danny Cool. Good morning, everybody. Think it's better to use Devilmon on Nat 5 because you can farm 2A Nat 5. 2A Nat 5 are hard to come by. Pranuto, I agree. I'm inclined to agree. How did Steam know that I like Summoner's War? I've never played something like it on Steam. Dude, I wish I could comment on something like that. I can't. I've had situations like that where some platform knows a little too much about me. It makes me uncomfortable, but at the same time, I like it better than getting totally irrelevant ads. Private Wing says, hi, Evan McEvanson. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Yes, new survey. Awesome. How is speed, crit damage, attack psychotic for more, Evan? Please, I need answers. It's more the blade set, to be honest. It's more the fact that he is truly built like a damage dealer. I love high attack more. But sometimes you lose a little something with a blade set. I like to have like a will set on him, something like that. It's technically okay. It's just very gung ho. It's very I'm gonna deal. He's a damage dealer now. He's not even a starter. Plus 100 speed. That was kind of the part that was like a little interesting for me. But it's also why I like the supports. I have opinions on the supports. I like what they did with them. Kanagi, Evan, it feels like it's been so long since I've seen you. I know, Kanagi, it's been days. it's been like 48 hours, I'd say. Atrapando, salve no chat. Darkino says hi. Lefky says hi. Well, actually, Lefky says Evan, and I say Lefky. Oh, no way. Mamamoo saying that they don't even play the game anymore. They went to a competitor, but they still watch my videos. You are reliable and relatable. That is really kind of you, dude. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that, actually. That's awesome. That's exactly what I want to be. And I really appreciate that you can still appreciate the content even after leaving Summoners, where I hope maybe one day you'd be inclined to return, but I understand. You said more in your message than I read, and I understand. I understand what you're saying. I am doing well, Maui Grown. Thank you. Guys, this is awesome. Thank you all so much for joining today. This is awesome. Private Wings is saying, when will Evangelion make a return? Dude... Do people want Evangelion to make a return? If you do want Evangelion to return, you can make it known, and I'll consider it. Guys, my glasses are a mess. My mother would be so upset with me. So upset. I just realized that we're a couple minutes into the stream, and I haven't really explained how this goes, just in case this happens to be your first time watching one of these things. What I like to do is I occasionally do these streams that are account reviews and progression tips live. I hang out in chat channel 10. I'm on the global server right now. I do have an account in Europe. I do have one in Asia as well. So if there's enough interest, I'd be happy to go on a different server. But what I like to do is I like to answer people's questions live. So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat channel 10. Tell me what your Twitch or YouTube handle is so I know who I'm addressing in the chat. I'll hop on your island, look at your monsters, look at your box, your personal record, and see what I can do to help, you know? I will do my dangdest to try. I got the Dark Barbaric King yesterday from a single random LD scroll. How do I ruin him? Oh, dude, the Dark Barbaric King, he is a fun monster. I remember there was a period of time where everybody was actually like pretty... Oh, I need to stop my run. Sorry, guys. Hold, please. Hold. Sorry, I just realized I can't farm and go on people's islands at the same time. So we'll just watch this last run go until then. Everybody was really hyped about the Dark Barbaric King for the same week because he was a Holo Heroes at one point, which was really cool. And he is one of those monsters that's just super exciting because he can kind of chain turns together. People built him on damage. I remember. I think did I ever build one? Stand by. He'd be in my storage. Let's go see what if he still has runes. He might not have runes. Looks like I built him on violent. He's currently not built. He's in a state of disrepair. Things have looked better for him. Mamamoo is saying that Summoner's War should have a pity system too. Something like that. I was kind of in the camp for a pity system, and I know now we're getting into my personal opinion, and I'm so sorry. Sometimes these account review streams turn into Evan's personal opinion time, and I need to dedicate more time to actually reviewing instead. But I'll elaborate on this one a little bit. I used to be in the camp where I was like, oh yeah, we need a pity system, and sometimes I still think so. But I will admit that like we've had I think the devs have kind of aligned themselves with a certain trajectory that is like, instead of doing a pity system for now, they're just going to give everybody like a surplus of scrolls. Because like when you talk to people like, oh, I've summoned a ton of these scrolls, it's because they've deliberately given more. And it's like we're getting 120 scrolls over the course of the next few months from this event. We get to summon a Nat 5. So they like to do this. It's like, here's 10 options for a Nat 5, and then you get to take one home at the end of it. That to me is kind of it's an interactive moment that everybody as a community can kind of talk about in lieu of a pity system. I'm not saying there won't ever be a pity system. I'm just saying that I acknowledge that they've got a trajectory for something like that, and they've chosen this path. Has sent you a friend request. I accept. Let's do it. Okay, guys. Let's go in here. See what's going on. Is Irene good? Wait. Can someone tell me who's Irene? I used to have a babysitter named Irene. How is my Narsha? Oh, Bakugo. We're going to have to take a look. Another My Hero fan in chat, huh? Certainly happy they're giving LD pieces as a reward. Me too, dude. There's no guarantee of 10 dupes. That's very true, but then you do also have moments like what happened to Katie on Wednesday, where she pulled 3 new Nat 5s in 2 10 pulls. But so it's results may vary. Evansplaining. You're right, Kaneki. I'm Evansplaining. Okay, where do I get to the top here? Am I allowed to say this name, chat? The one below Frost? Am I allowed to say that? It's anatomy. I think I can say that, right? There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Chat, can I get a yes or a no on whether or not I'm allowed to say Eureka's name? Thank you. Returning player. All right, Nico, let's talk. Let's do this. Water Devil Maiden is Irene. Thank you. Yes, I can say it. You think? Okay. Possibly. Lady Ziandra was much less confident that I can say that. Anatomical part. It's true. I'm changing my name. Sorry. The third nerd. Oh, no. Okay. So, Nico, I think I saw a message come through in chat saying that somebody had returned after 2017. Was that your message saying that? Because if that's... Oh, no. This account was created 331 days ago. So, no, this couldn't be it. Oh, look at this dungeon. Love the dungeon. Love it. Lefky says, what is your review on Bale, the fire demon? Guys, I've actually had a Monster Families Ranked on the demons uploaded to the channel for some time. It's not public yet, though. It's going live. It's going live soon. Like, soon as in, like, a couple weeks, probably. But, that's just something that, like, for some reason, it keeps getting pushed back, like I feel like more relevant things are kind of coming out, and that's kind of like evergreen. That can go up anytime. I really like this Giants team. This is great. So I'm wondering what Nico's like direct question is, because these are some solid teams that they've got. They're using the team that I've recommended for DB12. I love the use of the Wind Homunculus here. Could maybe try to speed up the Necro team by adding in an Ikaru, taking out the Fran maybe. Something like that. We could definitely speed up the spiritual... Something's wrong with the spiritual realm team if it's that... Oh, excuse me. If that's the fastest, I think there might be something wrong here. I think I'm going to look into this. My assumption is that either the Hellhound is not moving first or the Verd is not built on damage. So let me just go in and take a look real quick. Just refer to my user as you. Okay, I will try. I'll try to remember that. I will try to remember that. So sorry if I accidentally slip on that, but please give me some slack if that's the case. Okay. So if this is the Verd, that explains a lot. It probably wasn't like this when that team was set. Oh no, they're all D-runed. I wonder if he just ran it to like save the team or something. Maybe. Oh, blanks. That's me that you're checking out. Trying to get into Arena. Roger that. Sounds good. Voluntary hub. That's so funny. I saw someone just post that copy pasta thing the other day. Wow, what a good deal. I'll be there. What a good deal. Evan asked the devs team to open up a Hall of Heroes for past collaborations. Lady Ziandra, I'm so sorry to report that is probably impossible just because of the way that licensing works, just to speak totally plainly. You know, like there will always be opportunities for future collaborations and stuff like that, but those collaborations specifically are very like, it's this moment right now, and partially it's this moment for the same reason that collaborations are such limited times in other games too. It gets really complicated with the licensing thing. You end up having like you have a brand for like this amount of time, and then after that you can't feature them any further. You know what I mean? It's kind of complicated, and I know that, you know, other people do, and it's can sometimes, you know, well, I won't get too into it. We're getting a little too much into Evan's personal opinion if I delve further than that. And we don't need to hear about that. You'd much rather hear about how to get this account into Arena instead. I think Galleon is a really solid member of an Arena team. Non-hitting AoE defense break. Very relevant. Surprisingly relevant, right? If you're just trying to get into Arena, then you might need to get a little creative here, because there's not like a whole bunch of like super cleavy potential. Oh, so I think what we might want to do... Oh, login expired. Michael! Michael! Stand by, guys. Sorry. Let me text Michael. I'm going to have to tell him to get off my account. Stand by. Sorry about that, guys. I'll finish what I was talking about in a second. Essentially, what I was going to guide you in right there is I was going to tell you that you should probably go for a single target setup. So something like a Chilling. Something like Chilling, something like Elsharion. And then essentially what that would do is that would open up one unit instead of the whole team. Michael? Michael, help! Help me, Michael. Alright. We're back in. Unfortunately, guys, that does mean that you're gonna have to... That does mean that you'll have to send your messages again. So I'm just gonna finish. I'll verbally say what I was going to tell you. What I was going to say is that building something like Chilling, like an Elsharion, focusing on single target damage might be the way to go. You can use a speed lead or an attack lead to get yourself set up. And for your Spiritual Abyss, or I'm sorry, for your Spiritual Realm Abyss team, what I would do is I would also like try to tune up your Verd so that it's on damage, and I would make sure that the Fire Hellhound is moving first. Axie, let's do this. Holy heavens to Betsy. This is sick. Oh my god. What a stellar rep monster. LD account? Definitely an LD account. Absolutely an LD account. Silver Dust, I'm on EU. Can I still join? Totally. I'll hop over to EU closer to like maybe like 30 minutes. 30 minutes from now. Thereabouts. I wonder if there will be a video of a 2A family ranked. Oh! JG Blitz, I hadn't considered that idea actually. Ranking the 2As within their family. That's a really cool idea. Actually, I've got to, you know what? I'm going to write that down. I'm actually going to write that down. Stand by. Boom. Wrote it down. Thank you for that. That was very nice, actually. I appreciate you sharing that. Very, very cool idea. So, here's a genuine question, because I actually haven't really considered this much, guys. Like, what do you do if you're an LD account and you're trying to go into something like Spiritual Realm? Because I noticed that they don't actually have a team for that set up just yet. Like, I know that people have kind of considered that. Like, what sort of crit rate boosting monsters do we have? Actually, and also, what can I do for you? Or did you just want to maybe get an account review? Because I'd be happy to just like review the account. Check out my runes. Understood. I will check it out. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. The juicy stuff. Yeah, this is a huge LD account. Fun fact, I've technically pulled 2 LD5s from the Wish. Asuma, Fed, while it was dumb, and it's a deleted account, and Ritsu, which I still have. Oh my god, that would kill me, dude. Oh, that would have killed me. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Review is good. Okay. Wow. Solid build on the Asuma. Pretty quick, high crit rate, good crit damage. I love the aura. Like, I like that the aura matches the transmog. It's got a lot of love. This account's clearly got a lot of love in it. Light Ryu buffs himself. So this would be a pretty solid one to use, right? Congrats on the Chow from the TOA scroll. Dude, why is my phone is like bothering me. My phone is bugging me. Oh, you got a Wind Charger Shark? Oh, my mic's a bit low. Thank you. There we go. How's that? Muito obrigado, Hoots. Thank you so much. You got a good unit for buffing crit rate. Like, if you needed to do that, if you needed to clear it, you could probably do it. How much speed does a Kamamir need for Giant's Abyss hard? Not a lot. Like, not a ton. I think I had mine runed actually fairly slow because essentially you want him to move after your setup. Right? You want him to move after your setup units, so you need to have defense break landed. Oh, GZ on the Ahmed. Oh my gosh. I love this account. That is a very solid LD account. Bakugo. Along that same thought, this one should be pretty quick. Narsha advice. Let's talk Narsha for a bit. I think I accidentally Você fala português do Brasil? Brasileiro? Eu sou quase brasileiro. Desculpa, não falo português. É nóis, pô. Oh, whoa. Almost. But for realsy, mais ou menos. Zero. Mais ou menos. So we were talking Narsha. This gets... Tá falando melhor que eu. People with LD accounts, meanwhile, I can't get more than 1 LD5. Same. I have been stuck with 1 LD for a while. Dude, this account's like got so many quality LDs, actually. Even the 4s, actually. The 4s are great, too. Look at this. These are some quality 4-star monsters you've got here. Oh, my God. Stop, dude. This is awesome. But we're here to talk Narsha. Muito obrigado, Blitz. Estou impressionado. You guys are so sweet. This guy is fluent. I am not fluent. I just know how to say. I know enough just to make people from Brazil laugh. That's all. That's really all I know. Like, you know, I accidentally went on a bit of a rant about Narsha the other day because I was talking about how Narsha has one of my least favorite names in the game. Like, there are some monsters like Narsha and Woonsa and Grego, Gorgo, Grogan. You know, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, Narsha, really? Do you know enough to get in trouble? Yes, I could. I could get in trouble. Let's see. We got a Vile Will Narsha. Let's check the artifacts too. Speed up effect is awesome with her. Additional damage by 130% of speed. Oh, and bonus crit damage. This is such a good rune for Narsha, by the way. Like, the fact that you have crit damage up as the enemies got closer to their maximum HP, that's awesome for turn 1. That's so good. Let's check the other one. Same thing, speed up effects, great. Own turn 1 target crit damage, skill 2 crit damage. This is a really solid Narsha. Low crit damage, but it's like, dude, you've got additional damage from speed. Like, this Narsha is a killer still. I don't doubt it. Solid accuracy too. Plus 179 on Vile Will is like actually pretty impressive. And she's one of those units too where it's like, this is a perfect amount of, oh my God, with the ball. That was so cute. I don't think I've ever noticed that animation before. You can get away with slightly lower HP because, like, dude, she's gonna get dismounted, and then you got to kill her again. She's got 2 lives. Styo, 2 a.m. there. Are you serious? Where are you at? Where are you at? Only if you're comfortable saying that. You don't have to say it. I'm in California. Ace. Hello, Evan. I've just returned to Summoners War after 2 years. Could I please know what's new? Oh my God. Well, probably the biggest new thing as of late was the Reloaded update, which has like the Abyss dungeons now. We've got times 30 repeat battles. Abyss dungeons are very similar to like what the B12s were in the past, but they've got higher rune drop rates in the sense of like higher rarities. Like rarities, you can get hero and legendary runes a lot easier now. I'm trying to think, like, there's been a lot of changes, but I'm trying to differentiate what you would have seen in 2021 versus the end of 2023. It's been a lot that's changed. Also, runes upgrade instantly now. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, there's actually been a lot of changes. Summoners War has changed a lot in the last couple of years. For the better. My name is Narendra Palnagra, and I need help with progression. Let's talk. I saw you in chat. So if this is your account, let me know what you could use some help with. It looks like you've achieved quite a lot in the game so far. I don't know what your current goal is, because I admittedly tapped on your name very quickly there just so that way it wouldn't go away because it was at the top of the chat. Let me know exactly what you need some help with, but in the meantime, main account. Okay, I'm gonna try to ascertain what you could use. RTA. Perfect. Let's talk RTA. So you are currently at like F3, and it looks like you've got some fun tools. So let's talk RTA. Oh, Tayor. Tayor's been decent in it too. Here's another monster that is actually surprisingly good now. Oops. Valinchen, what a great question. Valinho says, Evan, this is a little uncommon, but could you review my rune exclusion settings? Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I could also show my exclusion settings and kind of talk a little bit about them as well, and then we could kind of compare and contrast. I would love that. That's actually a super good question. Thank you. Very different. I've never been asked about that on here before. I have had people ask me to share them, but I've never asked to review cell exclusion settings before. Wusa's great. I mean, this comes as a surprise to no one, but I constantly have to remind myself that this unit deserves to be ruined practically at all times. If you see that someone has picked only one strip option, there are so many times where you can pick a Wusa, ban their one strip, and win the game. It is like sometimes that simple. That is a little few and far between. He does pair really well with Molong if that's a route you'd like to go with. Seems like you're set up for kind of a bruiser playstyle. You've got your Abelio, got Shizuka. We're still only in water right now. The Miles, I'd like to know more about what style of RTA you like to play. Do you like to do a lot of damage right away? Do you like to play longer? Do you like to control them? I'd like to know a little bit about that, and then we can recommend a comp accordingly, because you have a lot of options. Like, if you wanted to play control, you could even go for something like Nora. Although I think I'd prefer to use a Carnal in that case, which I saw. There you go. Damage. Okay, let's talk damage. That's fun. Oh, kinky. Wait a minute. You've got units that are like really solid for bruiser though. First turn or second turn. Okay, that gives us a little room to breathe. I love that. Okay, chat, I would love your input on this as well. Oh, chat's been talking. So sorry. Ace, thank you, Evan. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm having a great morning. I worked out with my friend. We woke up super early, like at the crack of dawn. We went and worked out, and then I had breakfast with my dad, which was really nice. We went to a new place. I'd never been to this restaurant before. I had a breakfast burrito and a coffee. It was so nice. He brought our family dog, and I got to see him, and You know, we made friends with the waiter. It was really cool. Opinions on the Light Monkey. Just pulled one and wondering if it's useful anywhere outside of RTA. Predominantly, people talk about Kitian Desheng within the context of RTA because he is just at the tippity top of control monsters there because he has hard control on every single skill. So it would be wrong of me not to say, like, yeah, you got to use him in RTA if you pulled him. But, like, I'm sure that you could use, anytime you can use a monster in RTA, you can probably use it in guilds as well. And frankly, you could probably use it easier in guilds. And, you know, you could do it in arena, but you don't really want a slow control comp in arena. That's not really, you need something faster. So you could probably use it in guilds as well. But he really shines in PvP. And, oh, thank you, Kanagi. I am trying. It's the pump cover. Pump cover's on today. Just kidding. The pump was hours ago. The pump was like almost 5 hours ago at this point. Actually, no, it was literally 5 hours ago. Okay. Back to this. So if we're talking turn 1 damage, you have things like Ashir. You got Grogan for your setups too. You also can do something like Shimite. The Shimite is a really good setup for like a cleave comp. Or you could go into Strip plus Belinus. Dude, Belinus into Grogan. I think that would be kind of a sick setup. Big defense break into Decimate. That sounds lovely. If you're looking for something like turn 2, Bruise style, I brought up the Kinky because I genuinely was excited about it. You've got the Carnal for crowd control, for consistent crowd control. Pairing that with like a Bellio plus something that like can kind of recur a strip would be neat. Like a more. Like something that can have a strip option kind of on every so often. That is that's probably my recommendation to you. My recommendation would be something like play Bruise, then do like Nora or Carnal with Kinky, a Bellio, something that kind of lasts a little while. Because I think your Bruise options are pretty stellar. Though you have setup upon setup for days. I hope that helps. You have a great box. You really have a great monster box, truly. Evan, will you do some reviews on the Europe server? Yeah, I'd love to. I can swap over there in like 15 minutes, thereabouts. Oh, what about the Dark Dryad? I have a noob account. Can I use her somewhere? If I will refresh my memory on the Dark Dryad. I will refresh my memory on it. Oh, guys, you know what? While the game is restarting, this is a really good opportunity for me to post the survey. You can use command new survey if you're on Twitch, or if you're on YouTube, you can just interact with that link that I just posted. If you fill it out, we give 75 crystals to a number of people equal to the max viewership that we get on stream. So fill it out. Let me know what you think. I've actually got questions about the stream time on there, guys. I wanted to ask people what they think about the 11 a.m. stream time, if we're happy with it, if we'd rather have a different time, you know? Oh, I think I accidentally locked you. Wait, hold on. I think I accidentally locked you into picking one. Hold on 1 second. Let me add an option on here. Actually, no, we're good. I don't need to change anything. That's everything's right. Never forget Juggy Wuggy. There was also another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about too, is that we have shorts on the YouTube now. You should check them out. A lot of them are like highlights from streams with Katie and stuff. I think you guys will dig them. And the reason I say that is because it looks like a lot of people are already digging them, and I just wanted to bring that to attention. So if you haven't seen them yet, check them out. I love them. They're pretty funny. But if you don't, it's okay too, to be frank. Once in love. Plus 1 hour later so I can sleep in. Oh. Angie, salve lindão. Muito obrigado. Someone asked me, Lady Zeandra, did you decide to do RTA specific streams? I will do them. But not just yet. Swamp Shark. Hi. Hello guys. What's going on? Can I have Necro help? Let's talk Necro. I love that. I love it. Let's talk Necro. And then I will also share my cell exclusion settings. Don't let me forget to do that. Let's see what you're using currently. Oh, so the good news is that I don't think we don't need to make too many super drastic changes. We're just going to remove the Verd and the Suiki, and then we're going to go from there. Swamp Shark says, it's me, the Swamp Shark, need a review. I got you, bro. We can do that. I got Parjanya. Is he good? Super good. I actually really want to play with Parjanya. Please, whenever somebody asks me about the Indras, please take it with a grain of salt, because I so desperately want to play with the Indras that I'm going to give you a positive review. I so want one of those monsters, guys, because it's like DBZ. They literally go SSJ2. I'm so excited about those monsters, and I haven't pulled one yet. Like, the day that I get one, I'm building it. I specifically want the wind one, which stinks because he's like the worst of the family, but I really want him because he's like a super dude. Guys, check this out. Have I ever shown it? Dude, I got like these little am I allowed to show this? I got these little like Dragon Ball minifigures, and I'm like a big fan of them. Like, I love these little guys. I love them. And so I'm like, dude, I want an Indra, like, so bad. I'm getting way off track. Let's talk Necro. We're going in. Dude, if you let me talk about the Indras for too long, it's going to get bad. Okay. Some of my units are in storage. Okay, so I'll make some reasonable assumptions. We can talk about, like, what you got. I see what you mean. So it looks like actually none of the monsters besides Zhong Fei that I was going to recommend you are out. You could use Ergar, technically. You could totally use Ergar if you wanted to. So we're going to take out the Verd. The reason we're taking out Verd is because his passive is turned off at the boss. I am not as anti-Verd as other people are in Necro because he can be helpful getting to the boss, right? Like, his passive works there. But if we wanted to get rid of that entirely, what we could do instead is we could use some of the 2A Inugamis. I'm a huge fan of bringing the Inugamis into Necro, because essentially what they do is they turn all of your units into multi-hitters with their team-up effect. So I would like to introduce a Raok onto your team. I'd like to introduce a Crow onto your team, and that's kind of like at minimum. You can set that up so that Fran moves first, then Lauren, then your 2A Crow, then your 2A Raok, then your 2A Crow at the end, followed by whatever extra damage dealer you can bring. That last damage dealer, by the way, could be like Shaman if you happen to have one. I know not everybody has a Shaman, so instead you could also add in Zhong Fei and make the Zhong Fei move ahead of the Raok. That's what I would recommend for your Necro team. Once you get to Abyss floors, then maybe take a look at the free-to-play guide that's on the channel. Okay, going in here. Let's look at I'm looking at chat real quick, guys. Actually, while we look at chat, let's go into my Rune Manager settings. Sell select. Oops. Sell all. Sell exclusion settings. Let me share these in chat. So there are my sell exclusion settings. Let me talk about them a little bit just before we get like too deep into, before you like completely adopt them yourself. Seaspringer. Evan, people told me about Zhong Fei being perfect for R5, and I just got him. Check on him to see if his runes are good enough. You got it. I would love to help you with that. So I'm not going to dwell on this for too long. My first tab is dedicated to runes that I would like to roll, even if they only have 4 speed. Okay? So on this one, I've got my Swift, Despair, Blade, Vamp, Rage. You can read them. Essentially, these are priority sets, right? I don't need to have Legend marked because I already have it so that the sell options won't sell Legends, right? Because this is I just did it because like I am paranoid, right? That's truly it. That is truly the only reason. That doesn't need to be clicked, right? And here is the tab that is dedicated to getting 6 speed, right? So it's like these are things that if it's got 6 speed, I want to roll it. That's essentially what this is for. Norindol says, literally just took it and adopted it. Awesome. If you trust me, that's great. Lots of runes, right? Except for the hug runes. I don't really care about the hug runes except for fight. If it's got 6 speed on it, I want to see it. I want to roll it. That's what this is all about. I believe this is like, these are all the things that I consider to be like damage, right? So this is a tab for like this. This is a Lucky Madman. Lucky also does this. The artist formerly known as Lucky Madman sets it up like this. I've seen other YouTubers do this as well. So this is a tab that is just for if it's got 6 or more attack, higher crit damage, crit rate. I want to try to roll it. Same with like defensive stuff. And then this is like HP. Okay. So if you adopt my skill exclusion settings, that's kind of just like what you're going to be getting into. It's like you've got multiple tabs, each dedicated to its own purpose. It's like, here's a rune that I want to roll if it's got 6 speed, etc. Shaman is literally so good for Necro. Absolutely he is. Aster, solid unit for Necro. Oh yeah. If you've got an Aster, you got to build it. Lady Ziandra. Evan, my daughter joined SW after playing it with me for years. What is a counter for Riley? She would like to know. Dude, that's a very good question. Riley is kind of a hard unit to directly counter, I would say. Like the one that is like really counter to her is Bulwark, but I know that not everybody has Bulwark. You can also do, I think her sister Nora also works pretty well against her. Essentially what Nora does is she has a strip on skill. She has a strip on skill 2. She also has like dots on her. Things like that. Because silence doesn't really work well on Riley. You can control her attack bar with things like Oliver and prevent her from getting a turn. But there is like, Riley is very difficult to play around. Sometimes remember that banning Riley truly is like okay to do. Let's check on this Zhang Fei real quick. That shouldn't take too long. And I just don't want to forget. Let's just check this Zhang Fei. Nice Elucia skin. That's pretty awesome. That is beautiful. He's the Zhongiest. He's the Feiest. It's Zhang Fei, baby. Okay. HP, defense, defense. HP, defense, defense. Here's the real thing that I would change for him, right? Like just the 2 things that I would like adjusted for this is I love the tankiness. Truly love the tankiness. But he wants more speed and he wants more accuracy. Those are the 2 things that he really wants more of. So if you need to swap out that slot 2 for speed and try to find HP in the substats, like let's take a deeper look. Let's take a closer look here. Like realistically, this rune is actually not really contributing too much, right? It is actually only contributing HP, the main stat. The flat stat is, I'll use the word negligible. That's a little harsh, but it's, you know what I mean, right? It's got flat HP, flat attack, res, crit rate. These stats, even the attack, these would be better on other units. What we'd prefer to see would be something like speed, defense in the subs, accuracy in the subs, something. So if you could go for a speed main stat here, look for accuracy, look for speed. That's what he wants to have. Same here. This is more like a damage dealer rune, although the fact that it's got 13% defense is attractive. I will say that. Sad day if you ban Riley. Not necessarily. Oh, the Dark Dorkebi Lord. The Dark Dorkebi Lord is also really helpful against Riley because he cycles turns so much. And also, I wanted to shout out that Labrab James said Tessa, and I agree with that. Tessa does help too. Okay, let's keep moving through this. Again, crit rate, crit damage. You haven't really built him on crit rate, crit damage, so let's maybe shift that one around too. Love the defense slot. I'm getting the vibe that the violent set is a little bit forced. And that's not meant to, and you know, it's totally okay to rune him on Swift. I would love to have him runed on Swift here with speed, defense, or speed, defense, accuracy. Something like that, you know? So speed, defense, preferably, and then accuracy in the subs. That's what I would do. No need to force the violent set. No need to force a revenge set. We're talking PvE here. So I think that this is totally okay to just move over to Swift and put on like, you could even do a focus. You could do a focus offset or broken. That's what I would recommend. All right. SW Urethra, can you help with Giants Abyss Hard? Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Truven, is that Zhang Fei R5? It is R5. We're talking R5. JG Blitz, I completely forgot that my Verd was without runes. Tried to rune him on my own and realized that he has 0 speed. Is that okay? No, dude. You know what? 100% crit rate is definitely the priority. However, with 0 speed, he will get cut by the boss. He will get cut, and you're not going to get enough activations of his thing. Also, when he's that slow, your other units are going to be gaining attack bar, and they're going to get closer to lapping him. And so essentially what I mean by this is that as their turns pass, that 40% attack bar that he's promising your team, it will not be fully 40%, right? Because they might have like 70, 80% of their attack bar, and they're going to be getting half efficiency of his passive. Okay, let's see what you got for the Giants Abyss. The Real Penguin King. Dude, this whole stream is Evansplaining. That's the whole series, is me Evansplaining. Okay. Oh, this is... Oh, so it is you. Oh, you like you read. Okay. This is not too bad. I like this comp. I would just maybe swap Naomi. Let's look. Oh, where's Katie? Oh, we gotta use this guy. We gotta use him, right? The man, the myth, the legend. He's gotta be on the team, right? We gotta put him on. If he's not on the team, he's gonna be on the team after this. Okay, let's look at Vero. Crit damage, baby. Nice. Okay, 72. That's not bad. I like this. 72 is fine. Love the 90% crit rate. I like the crit damage as well. Where's Amir? There's Amir. 77 is actually fine for him because he's wind and the boss is water. So we are good. There's a lot of defense on that rune. You know, I don't think he needs to be on Despair. He could be on Fatal. He could be on Fatal. You may not have the runes to kind of go around right now, but I would take him off of Despair. I would maybe put him on Fatal, put him on Rage, something like that, if you have those runes available. Truven, it is Channel 10. Thank you for checking. Channel 10 is the place to be. Okay, so first, that's my first recommendation. Shift him over to Fatal. Let me look at this guy. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Gracious me. That was not stream appropriate. Sorry about that. Glad that you guys didn't have to see that. I wish I didn't have to see it, but unfortunately I live here. I live in this body, so you know what? I gotta see it. Violent. Speed, attack. Okay, so the Wind Homunculus should really be on crit damage. You're missing a lot of efficiency by not being on. Maybe efficiency is the wrong word, but essentially what you want to do with him is you want to maximize your crit damage as much as humanly possible. You know, let's check this real quick. He could almost be better on her runes because he gets a bonus because he's wind and the boss is the opposite attribute. So I would almost rune him closer to what you got on Naomi and just see if you can find a little extra speed in there. And just remember that you need them to be like let's talk real quick. Hold on. Like, let me show you my Giants, because our teams are getting kind of similar, right? So this is the Giants Abyss team that I'm using right now, and I've got my Wind Homunculus runed like this. I've got him on 53, right? So it's like, you know, it's not a lot of crit rate, but it's a lot of crit damage. And I've got him on full broken. Like, this is eerily broken. I'm a different rune on every single slot, right? So what I would do here is I would maximize your crit damage as much as humanly possible. That's essentially what you want to do with him. I would take him more, even if it isn't this much, you want to take him away from the attack area. Attack is helpful for clearing the waves. Crit damage is helpful for clearing the boss. That's kind of a good way to remember that. Okay, it is 11:46, so I could move over to Europe. Dude, I've got like a hair or something on my nose, and it is killing me. It's really itchy. Like, the tip of my nose is so itchy this morning. I did actually, you know what? I dropped the auto cell settings. Let's do it one more time. Sell all, share, normal chat. They are now in chat channel 10. And if you have questions about the cell exclusion settings, even if you adopt mine too, and you just want to know more about them, I do have a video on the channel that's explaining the cell exclusion settings, because they could be a little confusing on paper, but once you watch that video, I think it'll be clearer what they're doing. So even if you take my exclusion settings, which you're more than welcome to, I love sharing those, but like, I would maybe give it a watch just so that way you know what's happening, so that you're kind of empowered then to make changes if need be. Like, maybe you may not agree with something I said on there, because my cell exclusion settings are kind of geared towards like late mid game or like late game. Can you explain artifact sub crit damage as enemy HP is more / less? Tyler, what that is saying is that your crit damage, let's start with more, right? Let's start with more. What that's saying is that your unit will deal more crit damage as the enemy is closer to their max HP. If you're talking about less, what that means is that they'll deal more crit damage as they are closer to death. So as the unit approaches death, you will do more damage. You'll see your unit will deal gradually more crit damage over time. So like a good example would be my Shiho. I've actually got that substat on my Shiho. He hits 6 times, right? Like that, he hits 6 times on skill 3. So literally, as the hits are rolling through, you can see that the first one will deal less damage and the last one deals more damage because the unit is approaching death as I'm using the 3rd skill, right? So the first hit doesn't do quite as much damage as the 6th hit, which is, that can be a little complicated. So I'm really glad you asked that. Igor, Happy New Year, everyone's Zada. I want to rework in Violent. Totally. Oh, dude, the real Penguin King says you are loved. Dude, I feel it. Y'all are awesome. You guys are so sweet. Evan, what is the ideal turn order for Necro Abyss? My team is clearing, but very slow. You want your multi-hitters who don't do a lot of damage to move first. For instance, let's look at mine real quick. Here's an example. So my team is actually ruined to move in this order. So this is actually this is the order, right? So Water Cannon Girl, who could be Abigail, right? I just haven't awakened her. She can be Abigail now. Yeah, I know she can be awakened. I just haven't. And then Ikaru. So essentially what's happening here is that I've got my 2 predominant multi-hitters moving first. Truven says, why can she be awakened? They did an adjustment to AI, and now she actually uses her 2nd skill more reliably. It used to be that her 3rd skill would be used and like not do the boss. I choose to take that variance out of the equation entirely, so I just haven't awakened her. So Water Cannon Girl goes first, then Ikaru. These are my 2 units that deal the least amount of damage. Then Rauk, followed by Astar and Shaman, who are my 2 predominant damage dealers. That is the ideal turn order. If you're using a free-to-play team, if you're using something that's a little bit more free-to-play, your turn order might look something closer to like... actually, I don't necessarily know if Fran even needs to be in it. Stand by one. Stand by, guys. So like if you're doing like a free to play thing, you could do something that's like this. So Ehrgar moves first, then Ikaru, then Lauren, then Rauk, then Crow. But I would also prefer to like do this. I would prefer to do this turn order left to right, right? If you're using this variation of the comp. Cool. I hope that clears it up. Who's the highest attack on your team? I believe it would be my Astar. I think my Astar is my highest attack. I still don't trust that skill 3. I know, me neither. That's why I just don't awaken her. I just, I'm careful not to. You're welcome. Okay. I'm new. Need help with Necro. Kid Scrubby, let's talk. Oh, cheesy on the LD5, dude. What the? Congrats on that. Need help on Necro. Wow, you've already done the Abyss. Wait, how new are we talking? 113 days. Okay, got it. That is pretty new. You've done a really good job so far. Any tips for Light Beast S+? Havoc, welcome to the stream. This question is from Solid over on YouTube. Any tips for Light Beast S+? You can use Crow on that. You can use the Water Twins, meaning Talia and Sabrina. The boss specifically says that multi-hits do less damage, right? The thing is that Talia and Sabrina do so much damage that they can ignore that whole clause. It's so funny. They deal so much damage that the game doesn't know what to do about it. So you can use them anyway. I love that. I love that. Sesuj says, love this content. Returning player here. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. That is That is honestly the feedback I love to hear most. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad that you can make it. It's going great for me. Oh, Konagi's talking to Havoc. So here's what you need to know about Necro. Necro puts up a boss. Wait, what the? Dude. It's Friday. The Necro boss puts up a shield that absorbs 7 hits. And once you get into the Abyss floors, he takes a unit at the start of combat and he puts a shield on him that lasts for like 3 hits, if I'm remembering correctly. So multi-hits are the way to go. And it looks like you've already kind of got that down pat. The only thing that I would recommend changing is taking out the Verd. Attack bar increasing effects do not work in Necro. So what I would rather you do is take that out. Take out the Riley. I might end up giving you homework. I might tell you to build a couple units. Necro put up a boss. Put up a boss. Oh, you already have an Ikaru. Do you have a Rauk? Oh my gosh. You do have a Rauk. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. So what you could do is you could do one of the leads that we already talked about. I really like attack leads here, you know. Oh, and you've got Shaman. Here we go. Yeah, you're good, dude. You're ready to go. Okay. So you could use Ergar as your lead. You could use... Heck, you might even be able to keep Verd with a team like this, to be honest. But I would recommend... I prefer an attack lead. So I'm not seeing a Dark Vampire Lord. There he is. Thank you. Increases the attack power of ally monsters in dungeons by 38%. This is something ideal that we'd want to use. So I would put him as your lead. I would use Ikaru. Use Ikaru. He is this Ikaru is a little short on defense, by the way. You need 2381. So 2381 is what you need in your additionals. In order to pull all 3 units, you need to pull 2381 is what you need. I'd run Ikaru, I'd run Rauk, and then Crow. Let's go see the Crow. Oh, actually, you can use Shaman as well. So Shaman's the best option. Put him on Rage, put him on like speed, crit damage, HP, or speed, crit damage, attack, and then you're good. Wait, that Ikaru had 15k HP? Hold, please. Are you serious? Let me take a look. Oh my gosh. Tankaroo. Tankaroo is crazy. Abigail's awesome. I didn't see an Abigail. Oh, there she is. You can use Abigail. Abigail is actually better than Ergar. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't notice. I didn't even see that she was there. Set has the exact same leader skill as Ergar. The exact same. But what makes her way better in this dungeon is her skill 2. She attacks all enemies several times, right? Dude, she attacks 8 times, which is so sick. So essentially what that means is 8 hits spread out. She will attack 8 times on the boss, which is 1 more than is necessary to break the shield and apply defense break. Such a great unit. Such a solid unit. So you can actually build the team that I use, Kid Scrubby. The only thing you need to do is you need to reevaluate the way that your Ikaru is built a little bit. You need to lose HP, gain a little, just a smidge more defense. And then I didn't check the accuracy, but I would add some accuracy on him too. So you can actually build this team. Just instead of Astar, if you have Astar, you should run Astar. If you don't have Astar, you could run like Crow here, something like that. I think that would be better. Just tested the team. It works. Heck yeah. Thank you. Happy to hear that report. Oh, you're welcome. Guys, we're really going through here. It's 11:56. Guys, chat. How many EU accounts do we have today? Do people want me to go to EU? Are we happy on global? I can go either way, truly. So I'll let chat decide. Okay, Swamp Shark. Thank you for your patience. EU from Silver Dust from Frigg. No EU global better, says Swamp Shark. That's not what I'm asking. Oh my god. Weird question, but would Carlos be viable in Necro with the multi-hits on skill 2? There are better options. I will say there are better options because it takes a while for that to come back around. He's not going to get a trigger off of his passive. And even if something did die, he's not going to gain the attack bar from it, because unfortunately it is attack bar that he gains and not a turn. So that means like the boss does not allow for attack bar increasing effects to happen. So I would go elsewhere personally. And that's coming from me. I am Carlos's #1 fan. Level 40 Fisherman. Is this stream for new player help? It is, but it's also for anybody. So if like, I don't know where you're at in the game, but if you are a little later in the game and you just have a question, you just want to talk, or if you want to help people too, like I could always use the help. Like folks in chat are so knowledgeable. So, you know, if you have any feedback too, would love it. But generally the answer is yes. I gave you a very long answer for a very short question. Oh. Oh man. What are some good ancient rune farming teams for the Swift and Will one? Oh, dude, that's a big question. We actually have a Lumel dungeon guide on the channel. As for the Swift one, we can talk about that. Okay. So, Swamp Shark, you asked me a question earlier. Could you refresh me on what it is that you need assistance with? And in the meantime, I'll show chat that I've got these new little, look at these little fidget toys. Look at these little fidget toys. Aren't these cool? Isn't this neat? It's really loud though, so I can't use them on stream. Listen to that. Do you hear that? So loud. Super loud. I'm not a huge fidgeter either, but it's just they're really cool. And they sound cool. All right. Have I ever done anything silly like building an all Harg team? Not myself. I haven't really gone like super silly with my teams. I've been a very silly person. It was Arena and RTA, and Spiritual Realm and Steel Abyss, or Steel Fortress. But really Arena and RTA. Okay, we'll talk about that. I think we could speed up your dungeon times, by the way. I think we could probably get this Giant's Keep down a little bit. I think it's probably hurt by having Fran and Lauren. Mina, what's going on? I wouldn't open the chat. They are having weird conversations there. Roger that. My mic is low. I think I'm standing away from it. Sorry. I'm dude, hold on. Let's have my camera. Come hither. Thank you. Perfect. There we go. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I think it was my fault. I was standing too far from the microphone. Sometimes when I like go on a laughing spree, I move aside, you know, because I don't want to laugh directly into the mic. Let's check your arena defense. Now you're yelling. Yeah, I had a feeling. I'll keep an eye on. Yeah, look at that, dude. It's peaking now. I'm gonna turn it down a little. Okay. So this is kind of an easily attackable defense. So let's see what we can do. Speaking of laughing, you all should check out the new reel on our IG and new short on the YouTube page. Havoc. What a perfect segue. That was like, mwah. That was perfect. Well said. Already seen it, Havoc. Yeah, you should check it out. If you guys missed Katie today, you should go watch that short because she's in it, and it's all about her mimicking my laugh. It's just cool. She made it too. She actually edited that short. She's very talented. Okay, let's go see what we got. Let's see what we got here. We're talking AD, standing for Arena Defense. Right off the bat, we see one of the most annoying arena defense monsters out there, Ariel, the Water Archangel. You can easily build this guy on like double Nem Will, and he'll just rock somebody's offense. Now we need to make a highlight reel of all the time she did the sheesh. Yeah, I want another one of these where it's got the the gasp at the end, because she also does the wheeze whenever she mimics my laugh, and I want to do that. It was awesome. Heck yeah, dude. I'm glad you liked it. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so let's see what else we got. This unit is also low-key kind of annoying. So what was that exclamation I just did? So you can go a couple ways with the arena defense. You can either go the path that is an actual like solid AD that is going to really try and defeat the enemy, or you can go for something that will slow the enemy down so much that they don't want to attack it. We can talk about both because I've already seen options for both. The first one that came to mind here, I'm just checking for other options real quick. Stand by one. Stand by. Okay, so far I don't think I'm changing my recommendation. Okay, I don't think we're changing. I don't think I'm going to change my recommendation. So we are going to use Ariel. I actually really like Ariel on double Nem Will. Stand by for Amelia. We might come back to Amelia, actually. Rakan is such a good arena defense monster. I actually run him on my defense, and he's really fun. You could also bring something like a Leica. Leica's okay. The reason why I say he's okay is because a really popular variant of like arena offense teams is the Cocky Cleave. And Cocky has a 2-hit skill on skill 1, and he has life gain. So he can kind of go toe-to-toe with Leica and will win more often than not. Third Nerd, thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you, broskies. Wind Demon good for PvE? Seisuj, I've seen him used in old Giants teams. I have not seen him used recently for PvE. He is really good for hosing people in PvP. He's good in arena. If you see a revive comp, a lot of times you can just throw down the Wind Demon, do it. Wind Demon? Yeah, Wind Demon, Truven. Talking about the Wind Demon. What about the Water Thunder God? Yes, exactly. Truven, it was the old giant trickery. You could use him in place of the water one. So just to finish the thought here for the arena defense, right? So you could go that path, or you could go, like, just annoy them. Like, Ariel, Amelia, like, just built to outlast and sustain damage. You could bring a damage reducer. You could bring, like, when I say damage reducer, I mean, like, 2-way Darien, +1. Oh, you have a Tyrannus here that I didn't even see. I would recommend going something like that. Okay. Looking for Dragon's Abyss help. Mr. Church. Dragon's Abyss. Let me take a look at... Before we go in here, Mr. Church. Oh, wrong tab. This is what I'm looking for. Let's just real quick take a look at... Oh, this is not... I was hoping that I still had the comp that I had for the video, which included Spectra. And it's probably what I'm going to recommend here. Okay, this will be my last one, and then I'll move over to EU, because I promised I'd move to EU. And then we could come back to Global if there's enough time, if we get through, folks. But if we don't, that's it. So, usually for the free-to-play starter team that I recommend for Dragons, I like to have Verd as the leader. I love Veramos built on crit damage. He's amazing. He actually kind of makes it so you don't need Fran. I still run Lauren, I run Crow, and I run 2-way Spectra. Now, the order for this definitely matters, right? So essentially what you want is you want your Lauren to move first, then you want your Crow. You want Lauren, then Crow, then Veramos, then Spectra, then Verd. I'm going to say it one more time. Lauren, Crow, Spectra, Veramos, Verd. Technically speaking, it doesn't really matter if Veramos or Spectra go in that. Like, you can move their order, but that is the order that you want. Why isn't Spectra first? It's a really, really good question. It's because Spectra is not necessarily brought to reduce the towers in this one. Spectra is brought as a damage dealer in this one. You could also use Shaman, technically. If you already have Shaman built, you can use him here instead. Here's what we're trying to do. Here's why we want the order. The order is the way it is because Lauren sets up defense break. Look, oh, what if she misses? If she misses, there's another opportunity from Crow. He can either use the team up, he can apply a defense break on skill 1, or if she lands it, he has skill 3 for the brand, right? And branding increases damage, okay? Branding increases damage. Now, we've got defense break, we've got slow, then your 2 damage dealers are ready to move. Veramos with max HP damage scaling on skill 2, and Spectra, who has max HP damage scaling on skill 2 as well. Finally, your Verd moves. Everybody has dumped their attack bar. They've all moved. They don't have. It's a while until they get their next turn. That's when Verd comes in to boost him back up. That's the whole idea for that. So if you wanted to use Spectra for this, you would have to slow him down a bit, which can admittedly be a little bit tough because he's got the fastest base speed in the game. Like, honestly, one of the challenges is getting this guy slow enough that he, like, sits back so Lauren can apply Death Break. But you don't need to use Spectra. You can do Shaman. You can do another max HP damage scaler. Something like that, but I like those. Yushay says, finally I get to watch this live. Heck yeah, dude. Welcome to the stream. Okay, chat, real quick. Hold, please. Let's swap to EU real fast. I promised I would. I'm so sorry, Global. We've been in Global for an hour. Let's bounce to EU for a little bit. What a fun stream this has been. I've had such a fun time talking to you guys. It's not over. I'm just saying, I've had a very nice time hanging out with y'all. You guys are very fun to talk to. So thank you for being here. Okay. I'm almost in. Stand by. And the gameplay is back. We're back. We are on Fudu. I've never tried to put the name for this account into like words before. I actually remember making this account and just spamming random keys on my keyboard on my phone. Got the new player welcome event. Chat Channel 10 is the place to be. Summoners War is pretty much 10 years old. Truven, what happened? Wait, I just wiped? What do you mean you just wiped? In TOA? Stealth Man. I'm having trouble with MB10 on repeat, trying to complete that challenge. I can help you with that. Oh my goodness, guys, this is a very nice stretch. It's your boy Hayden says this guy seems so nice and respectful. Thank you. Oh wait, that's actually really funny that you say that because do you guys know Taki? You guys still know Taki, right? You watch his streams and his videos and stuff. I love Taki. I had the opportunity to go and do the EU Cup with him in 2019. He is such a sweet guy, but he made a comment about me that I've remembered for ever since, right? He said that I speak as if my mother is in the room at all times, and I find that to me so funny. Oh my god, yeah, no swearing, no nothing. It's like just pretend that Mama Evan's in the room. Okay. Mercury Moore, I saw your question here a second ago. So on EU, I have an account that's not very far. I left the game for a long time during college, and I'm just not sure how to progress since the Reloaded update. I actually really like questions like this because Summoners War has changed a lot recently. And like, if you just come back into it, it can kind of be a little bit of a shock. So essentially what your progress is going to want to be is you do still want to beeline Giants. And I love what you got going on here. I see that you got the elemental attributes being favorable to attacking the boss. However, we are going to change some things around. If we're talking early Giants teams, it's okay to use Fran and Lauren in combination. Mercury says, it's honestly really nice to have such a face from the game overall. Be so cool with new and old players and so helpful in general. You guys, y'all are so sweet. Thank you. No, of course. I love talking to new players. I really like it. I find that I value every stage of the game, but I find that new players especially, they have like some really interesting feedback. Because Summoners War is admittedly, I've worked here for 7 years. I played the game for 7 years. Like, Summoners War is a hard game to start, you know? So it's like, it's pretty admirable, and I know that it's a challenge. I think that part of the fun of Summoners War is it like truly takes a village. You know, like your account is not just yours. You're piloting it, but everybody needs help, right? And I had help. And that is what made Summoners War so fun to me, is like when I was playing the game, I really connected with my coworkers and like people like that. I made friends, like people in the community, like influencers, content creators, and like everybody was so helpful. And so, you know, just perpetuating that, I feel like that's kind of part of the game's culture. Anyway, so Giants. We're talking Giants here. You still want to beeline it. You don't want to have too many multi-hits. I say Fran and Lauren are okay because pre-Abyss, if we're just talking 1 through 10, the Giant only counterattacks one unit. And Fran and Lauren are built to last. Like, you can build them tanky enough so that they don't die to the one-hit counter attack from the boss. You probably have some units in storage, and there are some videos on the YouTube channel as well that can help with some starter teams for this. I'm going to do my best to recommend you what I can with what I see. I love that you already have Crow, the Dark Inugami. I would focus on building him. I would probably make him your next priority, Second Awakening him specifically. He's still like just one of the best damage dealers in the game, and this is a unit that's going to like grow with you as you progress through. So Crow, awaken this. He's great. Fuse yourself a Dark Ifrit, Veramos. Veramos has become like the MVP of dungeons recently. I love it. Like, he's such a good monster. You can put him on Rage or Fatal. You can do speed, crit damage, HP on your 2, 4, and 6 slots. And he can just be a really solid damage dealer. And at the same time, he's removing the defense break on your units. The Real Penguin King, I'm more upset Evan hasn't sent me a friend request in the game. I don't have any slots because I just accepted a friend at the start of this. We can make that happen, though. I would love to. I'm sure there's somebody who hasn't logged in for a while. I could kick him off. Okay, so we talked Crow. We can use Fran. We could use Lauren, who's the light cowgirl. I would also prioritize getting a Lauren, another monster that you will use absolutely everywhere. You can rune both Fran and Lauren on Swift. You want to get him to around like 100-ish speed, as close as possible. Doesn't need to be exactly 100 for sure. We talked about Veramos. We talked about Crow. We still have one more slot. If we're talking transitioning into Abyss floors, I would actually probably use either a Kamamir, who is the Wind Ifrit, or I would build yourself a Wind Homunculus. Okay? That is probably what I would recommend. Fran and Lauren should be the fastest on your team, followed by the damage dealers. Let me catch up on chat real quick because people are going real fast. Notice me, Senpai. Where is he reading comments? I'm reading the comments on Twitch and on YouTube. I tried to add 2, but you're maxed out. I'm so sorry. I'll try to like clear that out a little bit. When will Summoners War come on Steam? VIP David YT, it is already out on Steam. It is out on Steam. If you would like to play on Steam, you can do that. Kronuk, I have not gotten the chance to look at your account. It's your boy Hayden. I'm also following this guy for sure. I love his motivation. Dude, bless you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Yes, Kronuk. Did you see my account? No, I did not. I'm so sorry. Mercury Moore is on Steam. Okay, I am now caught up with chat as far as I've seen it. Y'all are active today. This is great. This has been such a good stream. Okay, still going. I should have brought more water. Okay, hi Evan. I need some help for dungeons. Howdy, Smurfette. Smurfette69. I need some help for dungeons in general. Huge help to go climb TOA hard 100. I'm stuck. All right, let's do it. Oh, you actually have quite a few units that can get you unstuck right here. Like Teshar is amazing for giants. Charlotte is amazing for TOA. This is my Giants team. This is the Giants team that I'm using. It's not mine. I didn't make it up, but you know, like it's ours. This is the team that folks be using. Thank you so much, Narinderpal. Thank you. Evan Oz is bright on stream and helpful. One of the best SW creators and employee. Y'all are making my day. I'm gonna blush. I'm blushing. Thank you. Seriously though, that's very, very kind of you to say. Thank you. Who can replace Teshar? You can actually just use an HP lead until then. You can use an HP lead for the starter team, I mean. For a speed team, we could find a different... Guys, do you have recommendations for a crit rate lead that might be cool for this? I've seen people use a Kamamir's lead for speed, by the way. Oh, no. Dude, I just found out I have a tear in my sleeve. That sucks. I just got this. This was a Christmas present. Lupinus, the wind magic knight. Someone saying Naomi is good too. Thank you, Emery. I rarely go on channels because they're all in Japanese. Okay, that was from Yushay. I don't think I heard the beginning of that one. So this is solid. This team is really fast already. Oh, but wait, Lauren's a little off. You could throw in Prylia. Prylia is the harpy, and she has defense break on every skill, but it's also guaranteed. That's the thing. Lauren's not bad. but she can still get resisted. And Prylia has a guaranteed defense break on skill 3. Guaranteed, which is crazy. As far as the Dragon's Lair, there are some speed team options available. I'm kind of a degen. I use the Martina Deva one. I've seen people use demons as well. I think Sean B actually put out a video recently of like a speed team for Dragon's Abyss. And then your Necro team is already looking great. The Necro team is probably the easiest to improve. Looking at Spiritual Realm, I think your Spiritual Realm could probably be improved by removing Crow and adding in Lauren. And then let's talk Steel Fortress. Like, the Steel Fortress team... Sorry, guys. Narinder Pal, have a great day at work. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it. See you next time. See you then. What team comp would you use a Royd in for Giants Abyss? You could use him in place of Lauren. Anytime that you would need a defense breaker, you could use Royd instead, in theory. So it's like you could use the starter team for Giants. So that would mean like Veramos, Akamamir, Lynn, Royd, and like Bella Dion or Shannon, something like that. That's kind of where Royd would come into play. Steel Fortress, just to finish the thought that I had a second ago, this Steel Fortress team is actually so efficient that like if you didn't want to do Abyss, you could technically just farm floor number 10. Like if this team is as good as it, like 48 seconds is pretty rad. That's pretty sick. So if you wanted to just stay in the 10th floor and farm, you could. Like realistically, you kind of could. As for Punisher's Crypt, we could find something better. I'm actually coming out with a Punisher's Guide. I actually just uploaded the guide. It's not going to come out for a little while. I think it's going to be next week. But like the Punisher's Crypt team can be Ergar, Verd, Ikaru, Rao, Crow. Just like that. I think that could be pretty solid. Someone suggesting Garo for the Acroma floor. Great recommendation. Need help for R5. R5 is definitely a longer conversation. So, oh dude, look at this. Arena G2, dude, I don't think Molly needs any help. Yeah, you're good. I think you're good, right? You are good. You're good. Like these are really solid. This is really solid, to be honest, right? Unless you really need your stats are just fantastic. Like if you actually need help with raids, but this looks like an account that's probably good. It's unsafe. Oh, really? It's unsafe. Where is your BJ5 team placed? I had to move mine. I had mine in the middle. Moving it to the far right or I'm sure you probably already know this, but like if you move it to the far right or the far left, it actually makes everything way safer. And the reason for that is that if the BJ5, I'll just continue the thought in case other people haven't heard this yet. If your BJR5 team, oh, perfect. I'll just finish the thought in case other people need it. But if your BJR5 team is in the center of the 3 teams, that head can go to either side. It's random, right? So it's like in theory, if you put it on the far left, the BJ5 team, it will always go to the middle, right? Same logic for the right. The head only has one direction to go, so you can kind of control where it ends up. The other recommendations that I'd probably add would just be like cleansers. Like make sure that you have cleansers available that are like that aren't reliant on their passives. I usually run like 3 cleansers actually. I think that I may not be able to explain this to Evan-splain this quite as well as some other content creators have in a YouTube video, considering just how much time we have left. So I may end up just kind of directing you to a YouTube video instead. I wish I could go into more detail with the time that we have, but I just want to get through as many people as humanly possible. I didn't know that. Thanks. If you want, you can take a quick look at the account. I actually would love to take a quick look at the account, if that'd be okay. I would love to take a peek. Let's go in and see what's going on. I'd love to see the monsters. Oh, this is cute. Togepi. Oh my god, chat. Oh, never mind. I think I can talk about it. Have you guys seen Pokemon Concierge? Did you guys watch that? Show was cute. Kodaku. It was really cute. It was a really good show. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. Pokemon Concierge. It's a 4-episode miniseries on Netflix. Stop motion. It's a stop motion Pokemon show. It's very good. It's like 10-minute episodes, basically. It's like 6 minutes of credits. Okay. Perone V. I'm returning to the game after a huge gap. Would love to get my account analyzed. I would love to be the one to analyze it. Are you on Europe server? I'm on the Europe server right now. Dude, the double cove. The Covenant. Who has the skill too that Magnum should have. Actually, that isn't necessarily true. I actually think that Magnum actually has the right skill. As much as I wish that it would ignore defense, like he's got the right skill. This is a nice wind homunculus. Look at this. 2000 attack. Perfect crit rate for giants. 248 crit damage. Oh, and dude, probably the best arena offense cleave option ever. Have you guys seen this monster? Have you guys heard of Hanwol? Draws a giant dragon to attack all enemies. This attack cannot be counterattacked, and all passive skills of the enemies are not activated. This is actually way more wild than it sounds, right? Because like people kind of get hooked on the idea of like, oh, it can't be counterattacked. So they're like, oh, triple revenge Verd turned off. Not just that. Like he can crit on Kinky. He can not proc a Belios passive, right? Like if a unit drops below 40, a Belio won't get a turn. Like this is low-key such a sick monster. You know who else has this, Molly? Is Stoic. Stoic let me play around with this. This is the unit that he uses for his arena offense, and it is so satisfying. This is like the coolest unit to use for arena offense. Oh my god, and it gets cooler. Whoa! You got a Leah back here? Dude, this account's sick. This is sick as heck, actually. There's a unit that I wish I had. Awesome. Very, very cool. Der Beersamoller says, hey, maybe you can help me say which dungeon I run next. I do not know. Let's take a peek. Evan, what skill does the wind homie need? It needs... Oh, shoot. Hold on. Do I have the craft building? I don't. Quick. To the collection. Is he up here? He is up here. He needs this one. Air Bullet Advance. Attacks the enemy target to deal damage proportionate to the target's max HP. And he stuns them for 1 turn. And if they're immune to stun, the damage increases by 100. So you can see that's on the bottom path, right? Bottom path. Upper side of the bottom path. And then he needs this third skill as well. Attacks the enemy target to deal damage proportionate to the target's max HP. And it decreases defense for 2 turns. Right? So it's the bottom, but it's the upper path of the bottom bracket. Upper path of bottom bracket. I know that that's kind of confusing to explain, but I hope that helps. VIP David, am I in the stream? Yes. Let's go back up to the beer sampler. Talking about which dungeon to do next. Already level 100, by the way. Very cool. We could speed up. Dude, your Giant's Abyss is looking so good, my guy. That is awesome. Although I see you're using Tion instead of a Shaman or like another max HP damage scaler, which is okay. 59 seconds is admirable, but I think you might be able to get it a little bit faster if you run 1 more max HP damage dealer in that slot. With the dragons, we could make the dragons a little faster, but I really think Necro needs like immediate attention. I would actually pull out all of the units other than Ergar, but let's look. Essentially what I want to say is that you should be running the doggies. You should be running like an Ikaru, a Raok, a Crow, or like a Shaman, essentially. Mena is Beer Samler. Great. My Giants is not safe. It was 1 run. You know what it might be then? I would take out the Tion. So take this out and do something like, it could be Shaman, I think, the Light Griffin, but if you don't have the Light Griffin, let me just take a look. If you don't have the light, should it be Veramos? Max HP, rune on crit damage, speed, crit damage, it could be crit damage Veramos. I think it might want to be crit damage Veramos. Maybe Naomi, maybe. but I think this skill 2. Skill 2 of the Veramos does a lot of damage. I think it could be him. Yeah, I think it could probably be him. And just remember that you need the Konamiya to move next to the unit that you want to gain the turn. So Konamiya should probably or actually even for the waves, right? Should probably move right after Teshar. That's kind of the complicated part, is getting that done. Let's talk about Necro real quick. So Necro. I would still use Ergar. Crow is a great addition to that. Raok is awesome. If you have an Ikaru would be great here. The water Inugami as well. And then you could run a damage dealer. If you don't have Shaman, you could still use Veramos in that slot, but I think that Shaman would definitely be the one that you want to. Oh, it could be maybe Spectra. Could be Spectra in there too. For skill 2, max HP damage scaling. But if you're building the Veramos to do big damage anyway, you might as well bring the Veramos until you find a Shaman. Oh, you know what? While I'm getting back in the game, because we have time for one. We can do another account. I'm just gonna post that survey again, guys. So we've got the survey in chat. If you're on YouTube, you can interact with that link. If you're on Twitch, you can use command new survey as well. So we can go back in real quick. And then so like the other thing that I was going to say. Oh, Truven, at Truven. I think the Verd is a little fast. I love that you guys are like also giving advice in the chat. Chat channel 10. Chat channel 10 is the place to be. Already done, says Lady Zeandra. Excellent. We have time for like one more. We have time for one more. Smurfette69. Smurfette, what did you need help with? Could you remind me what you needed help with? Let me know what I'm forgetting what Smurfette needs. What is the survey? The survey is just questions that we are asking the people who are watching, right? And it's like if you fill it out, you can get 75 crystals as well. And this one also has a question about the time. I know I brought that up earlier, but like, you know, would you prefer a different time? We stream at 11 a.m. Pacific. I don't know if this is a good time for everybody. Guild teams, defense and attack. Let's take a peek. In chat, I would also love help on this too, like, because I know that other people are going to be more reliable for guilds than I will. Oh my gosh, I love your island. I really like this, actually. The pathways that you've made with the trees, I like that. This is really cool. This reminds me of like going to a Ren fair and being guided by the trees. Look at this, and the little floral decorations scattered throughout. This is very good, very like low-key intentional. And look, it's you encounter shops. This is like a little shopping area. This is actually so cute. I should do this. And then we've got the clutter summon, the summon area. It's so funny. What was your second Nat 5 monster for today, by the way, Evan? My second Nat 5? The second Nat 5 monster for today? Which one? Oh, for the 10th anniversary. Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I have not interacted with the event yet today. I will keep you guys posted. Ask me about that on Wednesday. We can check on Wednesday, because I'm on the EU one now, and I haven't logged in on this one every day. I'd love a Quetzalcoatl monster family. That would be cool. A Quetzalcoatl family would be real neat, actually. I never thought about that. That would be pretty sick. Maybe one day. Kind of adds into that sort of like mythology. It could be amongst the phoenixes, the dragons, etc. That's really cool. You got a lot of Theos. It's very clear that you like it. You could also do the Tractor Windy Lulu offense. Tractor Windy Lulu, baby. Hey, Evan, is HOA worth it? Is the HOA? Do we mean Hall of Heroes? Or TOA? Dude, there are so many initialisms. So many initialisms in Summoner's War. Oh, is the Hall of Heroes? Yeah, frankly, I would farm every Hall of Heroes, especially the LDs, because one day they might get buffed out of nowhere, or very, very worst case for Hall of Heroes is you have extra 4-stars lying around that you can feed in to make LD pieces, right? Or you can feed in to make legendaries, or you can like use as skill ups. So that's what I would do. Hall of Ascension, Evan. Duh. I love it. I love it. I love it. Chilling. So guys, with these in mind, does anybody have any standout, like, oh dude, I love Manons on defense. Oh, Manon on defense is so annoying. You can also bring like a Hagang. The only thing is that he can be kind of easy to play around, so I don't know about that. Fast Chloes, very fast Chloes are sometimes good to have. You could do fast Chloe coupled with Hagang plus one more. I don't know about Hagang. I think I'm trying to force the Hagang too much, to be frank. Attacking with Katarina is also pretty good. Or you could pair with Chloe, to be totally honest. Oh, Lu Mei, one of the all-stars. This is an all-star too. She strips, she gains attack bar. I would definitely build this unit. Oh, you have Wedgeat. What in the heck, dude? You got a Wedgeat? Congratulations. Lu Mei that good? Oh yeah, Lu Mei is actually a very good. I would put Manon on a defense. I would use Lu Mei on attack. Lu Mei is so solid. Look at this kit, dude. Attacks the enemy target and randomly attacks 3 more times to remove a buff each one, and then she absorbs attack bar. She absorbs attack bar. This is really good. We were doing like Siege interviews back in the day, and like a lot of people would talk about how great Lu Mei is. A lot of like high level folks who play Siege competitively, we're talking about how solid this unit is. So if you aren't using Lu Mei, I would start incorporating Lu Mei into your comps. Guys, again, this has been such a fun stream. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today and chatting. I wanted to talk about just a couple things before we go, because unfortunately I am out of time. I'm actually a little bit over on the time here. First thing, if you're new to the game and you need help understanding all the new stuff that's been added to runes, etc., there's a beginner's guide to runes coming out on the channel tomorrow. Stay tuned for stuff like that. We've got a few weeks of really cool content coming up. I've got several things uploaded that I think you guys will enjoy. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance to check out the shorts, please check them out. There's YouTube shorts, and they're also getting posted on Instagram Reels. You can follow us at Summoners War App on Instagram for that. You can also give us a follow on Come To Us USA. We've got an Instagram page for that, and we've got TikTok there too. If you're on Twitch right now, we're gonna raid somebody, so don't leave just yet. We'll send everybody somewhere. Guys, have a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out. This is so much fun. Bye, everybody.
5 units built on damage, 2 healers, and 4 crowd control / follow-up units. Some of these you could argue that there are more in each category, but for the purposes of today's video, this is what I'm calling them. Let's rank them. Sitting at number 12, it's Belinus, the Fire Druid. Sometimes a set of blade runes can be a cry for help, and this is one of those instances. And 42 of his additional 56 speed is coming from a single rune, by the way. He's very slow. It's going to be very fortunate if he takes a turn, but he can be good follow-up if you happen to control the enemy's attack bar a little bit, push him back so that way there's room for him to breathe. But if not, well, shoot, dude. That attack bar is going to be moving like molasses. Next on the list, it's Moore, who's runed on Despair Blade, Speed, Crit Damage, Attack, which is an absolutely psychotic build for Moore. The low speed is going to keep him from reaching high